Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is just a very quick video just to sort of showcase the new deployable shields that have just gone live on the test server. Now, we've been waiting for these for around about 6 months now, and we knew that the change was coming, and it's good to finally see it sort of arriving, even if there is a little bit left to be desired. They are pretty cool and they do look quite nice. Obviously, the original intention for these was to have mirror windows in the front of them as opposed to just clear glass. The problem with that is that obviously now you can see both ways. The attackers can see anyone that is hiding behind this shield, but I'm assuming that the devs must have thought that it was just too powerful to have black mirrors all over this thing. I mean, it would have been Mirror 2.0. You would have had mirrors everywhere. So I can kind of understand the logic behind it. Looking at the actual slits themselves, it's kind of weird. The positioning of them is all over the show, and it allows some angles to be got, and others you just cannot see anything through the slits. Now, I tried messing around with it a little bit, and I'm trying to figure out exactly how I would utilize this, and there are definitely ways that it can be used to its full potential. Now, my biggest criticism with it is that if you are playing as someone like Echo or anything like that, you can't really hunker down behind these. I don't really do that myself anyway, but you can't use it as that sort of hiding place in the corner of a room that people very often like to use. At the moment, when you move into a room and you see a deployable shield, if you haven't already droned it out, you have to make the assumption that someone is there, but you're not 100% sure if they are in fact behind it. Now you're going to be quite clearly able to see them and make the decision as to whether they are a threat or not. Now, I did go ahead and try placing these inside of doorways, and they do in fact fill the entirety of the door frame. What it does is it actually clips into the wall slightly to make sure it fills the entirety of it. But when you go to deploy it, instead of saying deploy, it says attach shield to door. And that's exactly what it does. It pushes it out, it makes sure that it is clipped into the walls, and you can't get pixel peeks through it. Now, I remember them saying, or at least I think I remember people saying, that the point of this is that you're not going to be able to get those pixel peeks anymore, you know, where it's an unfair advantage. Well, by putting it slightly further forward from the door frame, you can still do exactly that. So if you're going to be trying to defend the archives, for example, and you've sealed the hatches on Consulate, you're still going to be able to hold pixel peeks all the way down that blue corridor. It's still going to be a really effective tactic if you like doing this and like utilizing this. The only real difference is they're going to A, be able to see you, and B, you're going to have a bit of a better time actually seeing who is pushing towards you rather than just having a tiny little slither to look through. You've also got the slits to look through as well, so you can see what is going on. Now, because of the positioning of the slits themselves, you need to sort of utilize this, or certainly it's more effective over a longer range, because when you're up close, the positioning of them, it doesn't really benefit you at all. But over any sort of distance, like the length of a room, you can utilize certain aspects of them to see further, and it definitely favors you if you're looking sort of in a downward sort of motion as well. Over range, you're going to be able to see things that are lower down, like feet and things like that. However, there is something you do need to be really wary of. Hopefully this will be gone by the time this shield leaves the test server. But if your legs are in front of you and you can see them just in front of you, the chances are you're probably clipping through the shield. Now, I think this should be a fairly quick fix. I can't see this making it out into the live version, but then again, I've said that before about other bugs, and they've made it out into the live version, so well, I guess we'll see, won't we? For the time being, though, if you're lying down prone behind one of these shields trying to use the slits, make sure your legs are not in view. If you can see them at the bottom of the screen, you're probably going to get shot, and you're going to be really hacked off. There are still a lot of strats that you're going to be able to utilize these shields with, and it's going to open up some opportunities, and it's going to shut down some others. This one in Clubhouse, for example, on Cache, you can cover this wall. I've showcased this in a tips and tricks video before. Instead of using the pixel peek like you previously had to, where you were actually a little bit exposed, instead what you can do is move slightly further over, and then you can just hop up and down by utilizing the slits on the shield. As soon as you see someone rappelling, you can just go ahead and line them up, and then as soon as you stand up, start shooting. Maybe aim a little bit lower, unlike what I did just there. But yeah, that will ruin anyone's day as they come up. Either way, I'm really excited to see what people do with this and to see if the pros end up utilizing it or just stick with what they've been running previously in the form of nitros, impacts, and barbed wire, really. I'm afraid that's about it for today's video. As I said, it was just a quick one just to showcase the new shields in action. But I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think it looks good? Do you think it looks bad? What are the pros and cons that you can see about it? And most importantly, are you going to be running it, or do you think it's just a complete waste of time to have this and is not going to provide any benefit at all. I'd really, really love to hear your thoughts. Anyway, guys, until next time, stay reckless and relentless.